Nightingale dragged R&D out of bed. He was surprised at first to hear that Nana's father was seeking an audience. Then he realized it was a rare opportunity. If he wanted Nana to stay during the months of the demons and help fight the demonic beasts, he needed to give the Pine family a reason to remain in Border Town for the winter. Ordinarily, this would have been a tricky situation. The fourth prince's reputation among the nobility had plummeted, and his relationship with the stronghold was strained, which was precisely why most of them had abandoned Border Town. From the very beginning, however, R&D had never considered working with the other nobles. They had power, certainly, but they were ill-suited for collaboration. He quickly washed his face, dressed, and went to the reception hall. The guards had already ushered Mr. Pine into the hall. The moment he saw the prince, he shot to his feet, his face a mask of rage. "Your Highness," he demanded, "where is my daughter?" This was the first time R&D had seen Nana's father. He was muscular but not particularly tall. A coarse beard covered his jaw, lending him a rugged appearance. He wore a waist-length cotton coat and leather trousers with large pockets, a style more common in the East than among the local nobility. "She's quite all right, Mr. Pine." Mr. Pine cut him off, his voice booming. "Then why was she admitted by the guards while I was stopped at the gates? I demand an explanation, Your Highness. Bring my daughter to me. I want to see her." R&D was confused. He had assumed Mr. Pine knew his daughter had become a witch. He had expected a humble plea to conceal the truth, or perhaps to simply allow him to handle the matter. He had not anticipated this aggression, this complete disregard for aristocratic etiquette. The guards let Nana in without question due to R&D's standing orders. She came every few days to play with Anna, so they were accustomed to her visits. After a moment's thought, R&D ordered a maid to bring Nana to them. No matter how rude the man was, he was still Nana's father. It was only right to let them see each other. If he showed any sign of intending to send his daughter to the church, or to abandon her, it wouldn't be too late to intervene. Nana and Anna entered the hall together. The instant Mr. Pine saw his daughter, the fury in his eyes vanished. He opened his arms wide. "I'm here now," he called out. "Come to me." But the little girl only hid behind Anna, peeking out with half her face showing. "You'll sell me to the church, won't you?" "Oh, you silly girl, what are you talking about?" he said, his voice softening. "Of course I would never take you to the church. Let's go home." This reaction baffled R&D. According to Nightingale's report, Mr. Pine had seen Nana use her magic. The girl had then panicked and fled to the castle to find Anna, with her father following close behind, his expression murderous. But now the man's eyes held only love and concern for his daughter, a stark contrast to the hatred witches usually faced. Could it have been a misunderstanding? R&D hesitated for a moment, then decided to take the bull by the horns. "Mr. Pine," he said, "your daughter has become a witch. You must know that." Mr. Pine stamped his foot. "What are you talking about, Your Highness? I don't understand." He lunged for Nana, but Anna stepped into his path, blocking him. From behind Anna, Nana whispered, "Father, I've become a witch. I'm so sorry." When Nana spoke again, anxiety tightened Mr. Pine's voice. "Don't be ridiculous," he said. "How could you be a witch? What has that man Carl been teaching you? I never should have let you go to that college. All they teach is church nonsense." Listening, R&D suddenly understood. Nana's father was trying to protect her. He must have misunderstood R&D's intentions. That explained his agitation. R&D caught Anna's eye. She understood and gave a slight nod. Anna raised her right hand toward Nana's father, who was still trying to reach his daughter. A jet of bright, hot flame erupted from her palm, licking the air beside Mr. Pine's head. Mr. Pine scrambled back in shock. Nana panicked, grabbing Anna's arm. "Sister Anna, don't hurt my father," she cried. "Your Highness, this is—" a guard began. R&D held up his hands. As you can see, she is also a witch, just like your daughter. Nana has free access to the castle for reasons other than what you imagine. Can we please calm down and discuss this?" Mr. Pine looked as if he'd been shaken from a dream. He opened his mouth, then closed it, then tried again. Your Highness, I. R&D gestured to a nearby table. "Please, sit. Let's have some tea and talk." R&D sighed inwardly. His reputation was so poor that people were afraid to let their own children near him. He now fully understood Mr. Pine's earlier hostility. The man was simply acting out of concern for his daughter. Seeing his child run into the prince's castle, and the guards so accustomed to her presence, he must have assumed the worst. R&D suspected that if he were in Mr. Pine's position, he might have tried to tear the castle down with his bare hands. It was also obvious why he had denied his daughter was a witch. He was terrified the prince would declare Nana fallen and in need of purification. He was trying to convince not only R&D but himself that his daughter was normal, hoping she wouldn't draw any unwanted attention. Mr. Pine hesitated. Finally, with a weary sigh, he pulled out a chair and sat. He snatched up the teacup and downed its contents in a single gulp, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand, his expression sheepish. "Forgive my rudeness," he said. "It's just, how long have you known my daughter has become a—" he hiccuped. "A witch." "Since before winter," R&D explained patiently. "I wasn't the one who discovered it. Her teacher, Carl Van Bate, did. He sent her to me because she and Anna are friends, asking that I protect her. For the past month and a half, she's been coming to the castle to learn how to control her power without being discovered. Her ability, you should know, is healing." Mr. Pine scratched his head. "Is that right? So that's why the cat was suddenly able to run and jump again." "Cat?" R&D asked. Mr. Pine cleared his throat. It's nothing. When I came home, I saw a boy in the doorway holding a cat that had been hit by a carriage. I tried to get it out of sight so Nonna wouldn't be frightened, but I guess she saw it. Anyway, she came running out, asking about the cat. The poor thing had a broken leg." He glanced at Nonna and Anna. "So, you two are friends." Anna remained silent, but Nonna nodded eagerly. Seeing his daughter's reaction, Mr. Pine's expression softened. Seeing the change in him, R&D asked, "You don't seem to believe that witches are tempted by the devil, or that they serve him?" "My daughter is not wicked," Mr. Pine said, his voice firm. "Whatever she has become, of that I have no doubt." Mr. Pine was a world away from Anna's father. R&D finally understood the source of Nana's carefree smile. A family like hers was a warm cradle for a child. "I don't think she's wicked either, Mr. Pine," R&D said, getting to the heart of the matter. "Your daughter's ability to heal is of great significance to me. I want her to stay in Border Town and help me fight the demonic beasts during the months of the demons." Hearing this, Mr. Pine hesitated. "Your Highness, I'm afraid I must refuse. This town will be incredibly dangerous when the beasts come. I cannot leave my daughter here." The Pine family was not sworn to Border Town, so even as a prince, R&D couldn't command them to stay. But as long as Mr. Pine was willing to talk, he was sure he could be convinced. "The danger isn't as great as you imagine," R&D said, "and with danger comes opportunity." He mentally reviewed the information his assistant minister had collected. "I understand you inherited your title from your father. He earned his knighthood through merit in battle, did he not, awarded the rank of baron, and given his own lands?" "That's true," Mr. Pine confirmed. R&D leaned forward slightly. "It was during the months of the demons. A small pack of demonic beasts broke through the stronghold's defenses near the Shishui River. They were running rampant. Your father was on patrol when he encountered them. Instead of avoiding the fight, he alerted the stronghold and then went to face the beasts himself, to protect a nearby town to which he owed no allegiance." R&D watched Mr. Pine's expression as he spoke. "But you know this story better than I." He rallied the town's militia, and with his own men fought the demonic beasts, and won, a battle fought to protect the innocent. Yes, Mr. Pine's tone grew impassioned, steeped in family pride. There was a great beast among them, a twisted fusion of deer and bull. Its legs were thicker than my father's torso, and when it charged, the very ground trembled. If I had been there, I don't know how I would have faced such a monster. But he did it, Mr. Pine continued, his eyes distant. He stood near a shallow trench and taunted the beast, luring the furious thing toward him. It lowered its head and charged, its hooves like thunder. Just as it was about to strike, my father dropped into the trench. He'd already wedged his sword between two stones, so only the sharp tip pointed up. Blinded by rage, the beast couldn't stop. It thundered right over the trench, and its soft belly met the tip of the sword. A grim satisfaction entered his voice. The blade tore its stomach open. Black blood and entrails poured into the ditch, so much that my father nearly drowned in the filth. The great horn from that beast hangs above our fireplace to this day. R&D took a slow sip of his tea. It was an admirable feat, he said. He upheld the knight's code of faith, compassion, and bravery. For that, he earned his knighthood and a manor in the fiefdom of Joe Cole. Frustration tinged Mr. Pine's voice. Your Highness, you may know that while Duke Ryan and Joe Cole held different ranks, they were equals in power. Cole's bloodline can be traced to a branch of the royal family, so his ancestry was no less noble than the Duke's. R&D sighed. It was a political machination. Wimbledon Roman III had been trying to set their power against each other. To understand this complicated relationship, R&D had previously summoned his assistant minister. At this, Mr. Pine finally spoke. Then, Your Highness, if we stay, can I send Nonna back to the stronghold if necessary? No one has ever tried to fight the demonic beasts here. If we fail, I can't let my daughter be buried in this town. R&D met his gaze. As I said, Mr. Pine, the danger here is not as great as you fear. But have you considered what would happen if Nonna were discovered in Longsong Stronghold? It would be entirely different. Stronghold is in the church's grip. Their roots are sunk deep into the city. Believers and overseers are everywhere. The moment she is exposed, even you won't be able to protect her. During his time in the Sand Nation, he had known nothing but betrayal. Friends, even family, had framed him for their own wrongdoings. He fled to the southern border of the Kingdom of Greycastle, but found no peace there, suffering constant discrimination for his mixed heritage, half Sand Nation, half Greycastle. Disheartened, he had finally made his way to Border Town, intending to live out his days quietly, relying only on his hunting skills. He never expected to meet His Royal Highness here, and he certainly never expected the prince to trust him. He had no doubt now, with this new, terrifying weapon, R&D Wimbledon would win the battle for the throne. The thought of fighting for the future king, and the opportunities it would bring, sent a thrill of excitement coursing through Iron Axe. A sharp voice cut through the air. Everyone, come down and gather. Iron Axe glanced through the window. He saw Carter, R&D's chief knight, approaching. Iron Axe considered himself a master of many weapons, swords, knives, hammers, axes, and spears. Yet each had taken him years of grueling practice and battlefield experience to master. To become proficient with a new weapon in a mere 30 minutes, the only thing he could compare it to was the crossbow. The other gun was handed to Carter. The chief knight, his eyes alight with interest, turned the strange weapon over in his hands, clearly fascinated. R&D had them run through the loading and aiming process several times. The last line of defense consisted of 4 men, Iron Axe, Carter, and 2 elite hunters from Iron Axe's own team. Using the parts from the blacksmiths, Anna had assembled 4 flintlock guns. These weapons were to be held in reserve, fired only if a mixed species beast attacked or the hunter's crossbows proved ineffective against the demonic beast. Brian stood before Greyhound's tombstone, dressed in simple civilian clothes. A chilly wind rustled the bare branches of the trees in the small cemetery. He reached out and gently stroked the surface of the new stone. Carved into the pure white marble were the words, "In memory of Greyhound, a silent hero of Border Town." Brian spoke, his voice low, the words misting in the cold air. "I'm going to be a knight. After the months of the demons, His Highness will hold the ceremony, but I can't just wait in bed. My wounds have healed. The city wall, that's where I belong. The beasts are coming, but this time they'll have to get through the militia. They won't advance any further. I'll fight for both of us, my friend. I'll defend this town." Even the thick, stitched leather of the tent could not keep out the cold. The ground was sealed tight against drafts, but a deep, biting chill still seeped up from the earth, settling into his bones. Speaking of demonic beasts, it makes me think of my fourth brother. He was assigned to Border Town, such a miserable place. I'm afraid he has already turned tail and fled to Longsong's stronghold. The demonic beasts can't reach him there, and its defenses are nearly as strong as those of Hermes. But I don't blame him. If I were sent to that place, I would have taken refuge in the stronghold as well. It just shows how unfair Father is. Simply because our younger brother showed exceptional intelligence from an early age, Father decided he should inherit the throne. He forgets that he didn't win his own throne through clever calculations since our mother's death. It has become more and more difficult to know what Father is thinking at all. The blare of a war horn shattered the morning quiet. He shot up from the table, his heart pounding, and scrambled for his shoes. The cold air bit at him as he stepped from his tent into a whirlwind of motion. The entire camp was already in chaos. Soldiers shouted, their armor clanking as they ran to form battle lines amidst a maelstrom of flags and banners. From the distant mountains, a low, threatening rumble rolled towards them. There was only one meaning for that horn. The demonic beasts were attacking. He swung himself onto his warhorse, its breath misting in the chill, and turned to his guards. "With me," he roared, and together they galloped through the frantic camp toward the city walls. Standing on the ramparts of the holy city, Gerald Wimbledon surveyed its grandeur. The city was an insurmountable fortress, a bulwark of stone blocking the only path through the impassable mountain range. The pass leading to the Somme, it was broad and flat, wide enough for dozens of men to march abreast. Near the base, the path was flanked by towering cliffs carved by ancient glaciers, opening higher up onto a wide plateau. This terrain was precisely why the church had built the new holy city here at the mountain's peak, using the land itself to create a nearly impregnable line of defense. Still, Gerald thought, the sheer scale of the achievement was staggering. To haul that much stone and timber from the foot of the mountains to the top, to build a city like Hermes in just 20 years. The power the church wielded was astounding. And no matter how tired he was of dealing with the church, Gerald had to acknowledge its might. Without this stronghold, every kingdom on the continent would have faced catastrophe. It was the church, after all, that had forged the alliance against the demonic beast horde. The agreement was simple. Every January, when the demonic beasts attacked, the 4 kingdoms bordering Hermes were bound to send troops to support the church and fight under its command. He could see their 4 banners now, snapping in the wind high above the walls, the snake-wrapped scepter of the Kingdom of Dawn, the shield and sword of the wolf-shot kingdom, the elegant ice rose of the Kingdom of Eternal Winter, and, of course, the tower and pike of his own kingdom of Grey Castle. His gaze shifted to the horizon. He saw them, dark specks in the distant sky, growing larger. The leather of his gauntlet creaked as Gerald Wimbledon clenched his hand around the hilt of his greatsword.